Today's topic is implications for our understanding of human spirituality and the nature of reality. There are spiritual experiences we might have encountered ourselves that can't be explained by classical physics. Could there be times when you felt your consciousness expand beyond the confines of your body to unite with the divine or the universe, losing the sense of the individual self? All those times you might have seen or heard spiritual messages or scenes without the use of your physical ears or eyes. All those times you could have experienced timelessness during deep meditation or mystical states where minutes felt like years or vice versa, defying the linear progression of time. All those times when you had a near-death experience where you saw yourself outside of your body and saw and communicated with deceased loved ones, or felt a sense of unity defying the physical limitations of the body? Have you ever seen an apparition? Or it could be those times when you were struggling with a crisis and a random book fell off the shelf, or a random conversation was heard as you were walking by, or a song suddenly clicked on your music channel, all these offering the precise insight that you needed that time. It could be a dream that you had of a specific animal, and then you saw that animal repeatedly in your waking life. Or it could be those times when you met someone at a party who worked in your exact field, and that person offered crucial connections, and it felt like it was a divine appointment. Or it could have been that time when you unexpectedly found a lost significant item in a surprising way. It could even be events that occurred at the same time, and they seem to carry a deep and personal meaning for you at that particular time. Could these spiritual experiences indicate how we see the world differently as a material self and as a quantum self? Because there are times in our life when we will briefly get into that quantum self and experience such spiritual experiences. The quantum self and the material self are seeing reality differently. They operate from different paradigms of reality. The material self experiences a world of separate, solid, and deterministic objects governed by cause and effect. In contrast, the quantum self operates in a realm of wave-particle duality, interconnectedness, where the observer and the observed are not separate. Have you ever asked yourself whether the physical world reality we perceive through our five senses could be a filtered version of something much bigger, a different form of reality in its fullest form? Could there be another version of reality beyond parameters of physical reality? The reality we see isn't the only one. We don't see all that reality has to offer. There is a hidden layer concealed behind what is seen, felt, touched, heard, or tasted. A layer where the rules of the world as we know them are malleable, ready to be shaped to our will, and we bend reality. What if all that we have known about the physical world, the reality that we are accustomed to, is actually not correct? The world we have grown to trust might be a single version of reality where time, in the actual sense, is not real or an illusion. And it might get us asking ourselves, is the physical world we see really solid? How about the separation we see everywhere in the physical world? Could it also be an illusion? Could death be another illusion? What if the reality we see in our physical world is a shadow cast by something deeper, waiting on the other side of perception? Reality has never been fixed, but is shaped by something much deeper than our senses can capture. We cannot understand reality without first understanding our consciousness. Consciousness is the ultimate reality of the universe. Our everyday survival consciousness is viewing the world through a keyhole. And we can expand our perception to witness deeper layers of reality, those hidden realms of consciousness. There are worlds beyond the physical world that we can tap into to discover the hidden truths, to see reality in its fullest form. Wouldn't you love to see reality in its fullest form? Our waking space is only the surface of the vast spectrum of consciousness, and each layer reveals deeper insights and hidden abilities, levels of awareness beyond daydreams and relaxation. It's a spiritual journey, unlocking profound wisdom. When we dive deeper into meditation, we often report tapping into something deeper beyond ourselves. That universal consciousness or divine database that is a gateway beyond our waking life and beyond the physical world we are accustomed to. So, when we elevate our consciousness from the ordinary mind's separation, survival, ego consciousness to quantum mind oneness, rival consciousness, we will no longer perceive the world from our fear-based, denser, lower human ego that focuses on the ever-changing relative reality. We see the illusory world from a higher perspective of the changeless, absolute reality of higher consciousness. And we can access the non-dual nature of reality, the reality of something much bigger than the physical reality we have known so far. Non-local infinite consciousness reality is what we will perceive through our own consciousness in conjunction with the fabric of the universe, that field of infinite possibilities. And this is reality in its fullest form beyond the parameters of the physical reality. Infinite consciousness reality has its base wave, form information contained in higher realms that can be projected into our material world, And our body plays a part in that because our body is the projection of this infinite consciousness into physical holographic information. Infinite consciousness is picked up by our bodily five senses that turn it into electrical information, communicating it to the brain, which decodes it into digital holographic information. So, we are living in a reality where we experience infinite consciousness interpreted as reality by our brains, creating an illusion of physicality. There are no solid bodies. These are projections of infinite consciousness through a conditioned ordinary mind. The person we believe we are and the world we perceive are all part of a projection the mind is projecting to our ego mind. And what appears to us as a world of matter from our localized perspective is, from the point of view of reality, simply the activity of one infinite consciousness. Consciousness is the reality. All things are consciousness. The world appears as a multiplicity of independently existing people and all things made of matter. We are localizations of infinite consciousness from whose perspective it views its own activity beyond the world. This infinite consciousness looks at its own activity through perceiving faculties of the finite mind, and it puts on a virtual reality headset made of thinking and perceiving, and it localizes itself and looks through the perceiving faculties of a finite mind, seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, smelling. All those fragments come together to form the unity of its own being, to appear as 10,000 things when it is indeed only one. So our finite minds give the world its appearance. We could look at the world to see the reality that exists prior to perceiving it. But we see the world through the lens of our perceiving faculties, giving its appearance. Our finite mind creates the illusion of separateness and the illusion of time and the illusion of solidity. There are no discrete things or people. There is one awareness disguised as discrete things, one infinite, indivisible unity refracted into a multiplicity of things. When we get into quantum consciousness, everything is energy. And the highest form is the all-present, powerful, intelligent, divine presence known as universal consciousness. And this universal consciousness is ever flowing from the higher dimensions of absolute reality down towards our physical dimension that we live in. We aren't separate from the universal intelligence that governs all life. We are an integral part of the divine mind, and in each and every moment of every day, we are not separate from its power. We are an expression of it. It isn't distant, it flows through us all the time. Can we dive deeper into the hidden dimensions of perception to see reality in its fullest form? When we awaken, we realize that there is a hidden realm beyond physical space and time. We are infinite consciousness, not a separate egoic mind. And most of us walk through the world believing things are as they seem, believing that the limits we see are definite and cannot be changed. And these limits don't exist in the way we think. They can be altered. What we believe to be rigid, to be insurmountable, is indeed malleable. There is a power behind everything we see. Understanding it, we reshape reality in ways we never desired to imagine. And this power is available to us right now. And the world around us is built from a series of perceptions, beliefs, and energies that can be transformed if we know how. Reality is not fixed, but a blank canvas on which we project our beliefs, thoughts, emotions, experiences, situations that we face, which aren't what they seem to be. They are a reflection of the energy we emit and the mental images we create. When we change our perception, the world also changes, as if we have a key unlocking the flexibility of reality, making it infinite in its possibilities with no more limitations of what seemed unchangeable. When we believe that we are limited by circumstances, the mind projects small limitations. Allowing ourselves to see beyond the perceived limitations, the mind begins to project infinite possibilities. And the key to master this projection is knowing that power isn't in controlling what is in front of us, but in what we project from within us. So the thoughts we cultivate, the beliefs we hold, the mental images we sustain are tools that shape and create the reality around us. By learning to focus our mind on the images we want to create, we see those images reflected in our world. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. So, in these profound states, individuals have accessed timeless wisdom or universal truths, emerging with insights that reshape their lives. Some encounter entities, others feel a sense of complete oneness with everything, a connection so vast and beyond words. For many, these experiences dissolve the very idea of separation and open up a perspective of life that is forever changed. What can we uncover within these hidden realms of consciousness? The possibilities are limitless. Many report breakthroughs in understanding their life's purpose, resolving emotional blocks, or finding answers to questions that have plagued them for years. And others return with mystical insights that seem to defy logic, yet seem so real than anything else. Everything around us can be transformed instantly. The truth is right before our eyes, but it needs to be revealed. And the key that can unlock the true flexibility of reality, the true power that shapes reality, Where is what we need to master. And everything we see and feel is a projection. It is a reflection shaped by our perception. What we call reality is a flexible web, constantly, invisibly adjusted by the energy we emit and how we see the world. The laws governing our everyday experience, time, space, and limits we believe exist are just constructions. They can be modified, adapted, and undone once we understand the true nature of perception. We are each on our personal journey as spirit beings in a physical body, on a physical plane called Earth, and Earth is our classroom to learn to navigate the denser fear-based lower human ego energies to ascend to love-based higher vibrational frequencies that enable us to have sovereignty over the material physical plane. And this requires evolution from survival consciousness into oneness consciousness, where we get to see the physical plane with the lens of higher consciousness to transform the trials of the physical plane. We have to graduate from the physical world relative reality to the absolute non-dual reality. Let us look at the true nature of reality according to the relational interpretation of quantum mechanics. Quantum physics hints at something mysterious that causes reality to collapse into one possibility when infinite possibilities are observed and one is chosen that fits us. Every quantum possibility becomes real in a parallel universe. Every possible reality exists. Our reality isn't the only one. What is seen is one variation among infinite possibilities, each with its own version of events, choices, and outcomes. And the energy from our body, mind, or consciousness influences and creates matter as we create our own desired reality. A new theory has emerged in quantum physics that challenges everything, and it is the relational interpretation of quantum mechanics. It might just resolve every paradox we have ever faced. According to this theory, reality isn't definite. It is conditional, not just in space and time, but in existence itself. A particle doesn't have a state or position on its own. It only has properties relative to the observer interaction, resulting in creation of physical matter from unseen energy with entanglement as a shared history of interactions and relative states. And this theory removes the idea of a single objective reality. There is no one world. Only many interrelated experiences are what we have. So reality isn't something out there. It is something that forms in relation to you and me. If nothing exists independently, who are we? Are we a passive observer or an active participant in creation of our own reality? We aren't outside the reality. We are inside it, and we help shape it every time we look. And if all reality is relational, then consciousness or our mind is the fabric connecting it all. There are hidden connections between our mind and universal energy explained by quantum field theory that can unlock untapped potential in our lives. Particles are ripples or excitations and manifestations of underlying quantum field. And this field explains the behavior of particles and shape the fabric of reality. There is a connection between mind consciousness and the field, showing how consciousness and quantum energy relate. Our mind is not separate from the quantum field. Consciousness might be deeply connected to quantum processes, and our mind is an intangible energy force. It is a manifestation of quantum energy interacting with the field. And the act of thinking, the act of feeling, the act of meditating might be seen as fluctuations in the quantum field, connecting our personal consciousness to the larger universal consciousness. And the act of observation or thinking or feeling of meditating can alter the state of a quantum system. And consciousness or the observer has an active role in shaping the reality that we experience. Because thoughts, intentions with the greater field of the universal energy can create the reality we want. And this challenges the classical notion of separateness, individuality. And when we tap into this interconnectedness, we might experience synchronicities, sudden insights, or even profound changes in our perception of reality. How does this apply to personal growth and transformation? As we get almost to the end of this presentation, the mind is entangled with the quantum field. So when we align our consciousness through mindfulness and meditation and visualization, it helps us tune into this energetic field, unlocking new levels of awareness to bring profound shifts. And harnessing the power of the quantum field with our quantum mind for personal transformation starts with believing that our mind has the power to influence the quantum field. Something incredible happens when we actively focus our thoughts and intentions and emotions on a specific outcome. This is a powerful tool to harness the infinite potential of the quantum field for personal transformation and growth. And our thoughts and intention can act as blueprints to shape our reality. And we influence the quantum field by consciously directing our energy towards that which we want as our outcome. As we conclude, the reality we perceive is an illusion, a subjective interpretation crafted by our interactions with the quantum world. And this suggests that life itself is a quantum interpretation process, and death marks a return to an original quantum state when our consciousness leaves the physical body. And this redefines our understanding of existence, framing life and death as part of a continuous quantum process, and challenges us to reconsider the nature of reality, perception, and the universal flow of consciousness. Our consciousness isn't meant to stay confined to this physical reality and the physical world and the physical brain. Every night, our consciousness, I'm sure you did not know this, but let me blow your mind now. Every night we go to sleep, our consciousness drifts free from its anchor and shifts into a different state and travels beyond the physical reality and moves to a different level of awareness. And it crosses into hidden dimensions and explores alternate realities, connecting with something far beyond human understanding. And this unlocks one of the secrets of existence. If consciousness can drift beyond the body when we are asleep, or when the body retires and consciousness goes on as quantum soul, something about our understanding of reality is incomplete. We can't understand reality without understanding our consciousness. Because when the body ceases, consciousness continues as quantum information. And near-death experiences report occurrences defying classical laws. These near-death experiences defy the ordinary limits of human consciousness. When we are declared dead, the heartbeat ceases, accompanied by a heightened state of awareness. What has died is the body, not our consciousness. Our consciousness continues on, and this near-death experience transcends the known boundaries of human consciousness. Patients report an ongoing consciousness with memories and the possibility of perception outside and above a lifeless body of their own. They see themselves leaving their physical body, traveling through a luminous channel and meeting other beings. And in this altered state, time and space lose traditional significance, and a profound connection occurs with the cosmic. As we conclude, human spirituality explores the nature of reality through various lenses, including the search for meaning and purpose, and connecting to something beyond the material world, involving beliefs about a higher divine power. And human spirituality and the nature of reality are deeply intertwined and have been explored by philosophers, spiritual leaders, and scientists across various cultures and traditions. So, examining the relationship between spirituality and reality, we can gain a deeper understanding of the human experience and our place within the larger cosmos. I'm leaving you with this question. What insights are you getting on unlocking your human spirituality, the power within you to change your own reality? Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy a blissful night. Namaste. Thank you, and thank you.